Here we are back with the bathroom again. So I've already unbolted the toilet. I'm going to pull it up. That's what that little water is from the floor right over here. But what we need to find out is, because it looks like there's some wetness down there on the top of the holding tank, is where the water is coming from. Did it come from behind on the pipe and roll down there? Is there something else leaking that we're not aware of? So that is today's goal. Hopefully we can get a few things put back together. This is just a real quick removal. Pull the floor and then see what's going on. So here we go. Alright, so remove the floor again. We either had water leaking from the pipe or the toilet. So what I'm going to do, since we've got a new coupler to make the pipe here a little bit shorter, because we think that's why it was spraying out just a little bit too long. We can fix that. We got to dry all this up, obviously. Put the floor back down, mount the toilet back, and then see what it does with usage today and then into tomorrow. So that's the cleanup idea. Gotta get all this water up. That's what we gotta do. So, dried up the water here. What we want to do, instead of trying to go ahead and seal everything up, is we really want to figure out where this water is coming from. Is it coming from the toilet when we mount everything back? Is it coming from the pipe? Where'd the additional water come from? So what we've come up with is we're going to go get some poster board, and we are actually going to put that down around and see if anything gets wet overnight with usage. So that's the idea. We'll be back here shortly. We're going to run to the store. Okay, so we've got the cardboard cut and in place. Hopefully we're going to put the board back down, make sure the cat's not underneath the trailer and stuff like that, and see what happens tomorrow. Thought I was done filming, but what I did was I took a piece of cardboard and folded it over so everything pushes real solid to the tank itself. Like I said, we're going to put the floor back in, and then we are going to put the toilet back on there, hook everything back up, and check it tomorrow and see what's leaking, if anything, at this point in time. So this is where we started today, getting the holes done for the vents. Does not appear as though, so the cardboard's still underneath. We're getting ready to pull up the floor, clean up the sawdust, put the insulation down, and then hopefully put the moisture barrier on. I have to figure out how I'm going to connect this particular vent to the floor while I'm doing that, and then this one will pull through when we're ready. But I need to clean up the sawdust that's underneath, and then pull the cardboard out, and then we're making progress. Alright, well, here is our subfloor, underfloor, the underlayment. There's the cardboard. You can see there is no wetness. I'm going to bring it around that way and clean up some of the mess, bring out the cardboard. And then what we will do is clean all that up down there, lay down the new insulation, let the cat explore a little bit more before we finally seal off for access permanently, but making a lot of progress. Okay, so as you see, we do have the insulation down on the floor. We did it over there too. The old stuff back there is not too bad. Now you may notice that we have flipped over the cardboard, and the reason for that is what is going on is the section over in this was wet, so I flipped it over to see if it still continues to get wet. But right around the seal for this going into the tank, that is actually what we think is possibly leaking a little bit. So what we're going to try to do is get some JB Weld that's for plastic. I thought about caulking it, and that's an idea too. I do have some caulking, but we want to try to seal that up, stuff some cotton down in around it, put the floor back down. We're just basically want to see if it's still leaking before we go ahead and put in the rest of the glue down the floor and seal everything up. So we will see, but for right now, that's the plan. Is we're just going to put the floor back on, put the toilet back on for right now, gauge it again tomorrow to see if that is in fact where it's leaking. We'll be able to tell if the same area as you're looking at it to the left is wet tomorrow, if that is indeed the case, that it's a leak. So all the other holes are cut. We want to talk a little bit about the wheel well cover. Now, I did consider actually, because we got to put the shower back in, I did actually consider taking and trying to go ahead and build the box to cover it before we put the shower in. That is still a consideration. It's not totally off the table, but we also have to kind of repair this wall as we get the shower back in. So, and then we'll glue in the pipes, glue those in. Obviously we'll have to take the faucets off there, but so that's where we're at today. We are going to be back at it tomorrow. See what happens.